Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. So I've not really had many ideas at the moment for videos to make, and I've thought, you know what's a lot of fun? Tier lists, and I've never seen anyone make a Dead by Daylight tier list before, which I thought was pretty crazy, so I thought I'd maybe start off a bit of a trend. I'm sure plenty of other people will be doing this after I'm the one who started it, so DBD tier list. This tier list is going to be based on how much fun it is, I find, to play the killer. This is not going to be a strength tier list or anything, this is just completely subjective, my personal preferences. I'm sure people will still find a way to argue about my subjective opinions on fun in a tier list. But yeah, that's going to be what this video is. It's not going to be strength or anything. And I may do another video of how much fun it is to play against them, because that tier list will probably look quite different. If you do like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, because it really helps the channel out. And I think it would make me feel good. There is no music in this video, so you can just play your own background music if you would like to. All right, so starting with Trapper. Trapper's a killer I think can be fun to play as, but he's only fun to play as when you play in a really boring way, if that makes sense. The fun in Trapper is in locking down an area and holding it, usually basement. So I do think that can be fun to see survivors just constantly running into traps and not having anything to do. But at the same time, is it really fun to do that? I don't know. I'm going to put Trapper in. I'm going to put him in C for now. I don't think he's the worst of the worst for me, at least. Next we get Wraith. Wraith is a killer that I do quite enjoy on occasion. I think that the speed and the ambush attacks are nice. A lot of maps are not great for Wraith. You can see him coming. And, you know, getting a free first hit is nice. Then the follow-up hit, at least for me, I'm not great at Wraith, can be a little bit tricky. I can struggle to time the speed boost you get out of stealth. That can be pretty difficult for me. I do like it though. I do think it's pretty fun. I'm gonna put it in B for now. Definitely above Trapper. Definitely in a different tier to Trapper. Hillbilly, I'm gonna put in S. The speed, the curves. He is getting a slight nerf soon in the next few days, I think. But I still think he's gonna be a lot of fun to play as. Nurse, I'm gonna put her in D. Once you kind of get the idea of how to blink down, there's not that much fun stuff you can do with her. Like what can Nurse do that's like equivalent to a Billy curve or something as satisfying as, like, you know, a nice Deathslinger or Huntress shot. You know, learning her is one of the more frustrating things to do, but once you've kind of got the hang of her, she's not that fun to play. Because if you get a hit with her, it feels like, okay, yeah, I got that hit. I should have got that hit. I'm playing Nurse. And if you manage to keep whiffing, then that's not fun either, because suddenly the survivor is making you want to tear your hair out. So I think Nurse goes bottom because when you're doing well with her, she's like, eh. And when you do bad with her, she is so frustrating. Myers, if Trapper's C tier, I think Myers is... I actually think I prefer Myers to Trapper. I think that the stealth of Myers is really fun, and getting crazy lunges, like the builds you can use with Myers are really fun, like Dark Arrogance, Superior Anatomy, Bamboozle, Coup de Grace. You can do some really weird things with Myers that is just funny. Trapper, I mean, there's not that much fun, unique stuff you can do with Trapper. You can use Eerie Coil and Honing Stone or whatever you want to use. It's not fun particularly. So Myers, I think Myers is there. Should Trapper go D? I'm gonna put Trapper above Nurse in D. Yeah, I think I have a similar amount. Hag, I'm gonna put below Nurse because I just do not like. I don't really like zone control killers. Same with Trapper. And Hag, I've never played her that much. I think if I played her more, maybe I'd enjoy her a bit more. But Hag is just not fun. You get to a loop, you set a trap, they run to the next loop, and you just try and force people into your traps. You hit them, you reset your trap. I don't really like zone control killers like that, I'll be honest with you. Hag might be my least favourite killer to play, apart from maybe Skull Merchant. Well, that's just because I refuse to play Skull Merchant. Doctor, I will put... He's on the same tier as Wraith. He is... is he above or below Wraith? See, the Doctor is fun. Denying loops can be fun, but it's also a little bit... There is obviously a skill to it, and really good Doctors only need to shock you once to get a hit. I'm not a really good Doctor. I sometimes mess the timing up. And then even when I do get the timing right, I don't think it feels very fun to play. I think the shocks and the static blast and tracking is pretty good with Doctor. But do I find him fun? Do I even want to put him in B tier? I find Wraith more fun than Doctor, definitely. I think Doctor is a tier above Myers. I think Myers, well, I mean, Myers can be kind of fun with the... I'll rearrange this later if I feel the need to, but for now, I'll stick with this. Huntress I'll put in A tier. The hatchets, getting hatchets hits is fun. Even if you get destroyed the whole game, but you get one long range hatchet, for me at least, I like that. I'll take it. I'll take that when I'm playing Huntress. I do enjoy it. Yeah, so Huntress, you get long range shots with her, which is nice, and even at short loops, the mind games you can do with Huntress are quite unique compared to other killers. The typical thing to do with Huntress, the boring thing to do with Huntress, is to just hold a hatchet and try and force people to lose distance because they're trying to dodge something that you're just not going to throw. And then you get up close, you get a really easy hit. But saying that, as Huntress, getting that first hit dead close and then getting a follow-up hit right after it is a very nice feeling. So definitely A tier, I'd say. We get Bubba next. See, I don't actually play that much Bubba, but I do like him. He's a killer that I don't think to play very often, but when I do, I'm like, I had a good game. I enjoyed that match. Usually, I think being able to break pallets that quickly is easy. Like chewing through pallets is just very satisfying. And now with the buffs that he had, it wasn't even recent at this point, was it? I don't know when the buffs were, but the buffs that he got definitely made him more fun to play as. You can kind of play around loops a bit better now. Freddy, probably just above Hag. Being able to teleport across the map to gens is quite nice. If you manage to get a mind game where you chase someone and then they run into a gen as you teleport into it, that's pretty cool. Snares. I mean, snares aren't a fun power. And I'm pretty confident in saying that I've never played Pallet Freddy. I'm pretty sure about that. I've never played Pallet Freddy because I think that just seems so boring. You don't even have a power at that point. Your power is completely passive, really, and reliant on the survivors to mess up. So, yeah, Freddy is not fun. Teleporting's nice, but ugh. You know what? I'm going to put Nurse above Trapper. Still very low tier, but I think Nurse is more fun than Trapper. Pig above Myers, I think. C tier. Her ambush attack got buffed again recently, which is pretty fun to use. The head pops are a bit of slowdown, so they're not particularly fun, but if someone happens to die to a head pop, I mean, that feels pretty nice. That's pretty fun. Yeah, the ambush is decent. Being able to sneak around the map is decent. Yeah, she's all right. There's nothing really special about her, but there's nothing that terrible about her either. Clown. See, Clown is, I think, I'm going to try and put Clown above Wraith. I really like trying to combine the yellow and the purple bottles with Clown to get downs. I did a video as well where I only used yellow bottles on Clown. And that was a fun gimmick, and that got me a bit more used to using the yellow bottles. And I really enjoy getting a speed boost is really nice. Trying to force a survivor into a certain position is pretty good. Again, not much to say about Clown, but it is enjoyable. Also, Clown's hit animation is probably one of the best in the game. Little knife tricks, especially say the best for last. That's fun. So next is Spirit. Spirit's a killer that I really don't like. I think that her power for me is not particularly enjoyable. But she's above Nurse. I think she's above all of these. But is she on a new tier? I'm not sure if she's on a new tier. Yeah, I think she's D tier, but she is above all these. I think the Spirit's power is a bit more involved than Nurse's, while still being kind of free most of the time. You can do some mind games, like, you know, the survivors can hear where you're phasing now, so you can try and trick them into thinking you're going one way and quickly loop back another. So you can kind of do some stuff like that. I've recently enjoyed playing against Spirit a little bit more, but even then, when I'm playing Survivor, I'm mostly using headphones, so still not a big fan. But that's a different tier list, so we won't be talking about that. Legion, C tier. Definitely above Myers. I'm probably above Pig as well. Honestly, Legion is the turn your brain off killer, you know, knife go burr kind of thing, which can be fun. Definitely, it can be pretty fun to just turn your brain off and not really have to think. But most of the time, you're still going to get kind of stomped. His to actually get it down, you are just a normal M1 killer. There is a build that I did with Legion, which is a Stealth Legion build, which uses one of his add-ons that gives Oblivious. That was pretty fun, because people tend to stay injured against the Legion, so if you're undetectable, you can just walk up to them and smack them. It's nice. You trick them into thinking you're going, you just come right back and hit them. Plague, I'll put above Bubba. I really like... I don't know what it exactly is about Plague. I think it's the kind of chaos you can sow in a team where, you know, some people are cleansing, which then gives you your power, and then, you know, everyone kind of has to cleanse at that point. If you're against a full team that knows not to cleanse, it is kind of boring, because then you are just an M1 killer for the most part. You do get at least one fountain base kit now, which is nice, and then with add-ons you can get more, but I don't really tend to use the Apple add-on, so I don't tend to get more fountains in my games. I rely on the survivors to do it for me. Honestly, if it was more common that survivors wouldn't cleanse about play, she'd probably be lower, but it is pretty common that there is at least someone on the team who cleanses, which then kind of means the rest of the team has to cleanse. So I am definitely enjoy most of my games as Plague. She's also a killer who you can get some pretty decent perk variety on. I think the Undetectable Plague is really fun. Again, I love stealth builds. Undetectable Plague, like Trail of Torment, just slap that on a Plague build, and then you get some really nice downs. If you can catch like multiple survivors on a gen when you've got Corrupt Purge, oh, it is very nice. Ghostface is for me C tier. Is he above? I think he's just above Pig. Oh my god, I cannot position this. I think he's just above Pig. These are just like my gut reactions. Like I said, I might reorganize these at some point, but the mechanics for Ghostface are a bit too janky. The reveal and the stalk mechanics, I'm not a big fan of. I was about to say, I'm not a big fan of stealth killers. I like taking regular killers and making them stealthy, but actual stealth killers, I'm not a huge fan of. Ghostface is good because you can feel very devious when you play as him. If you manage to get into a good position, stalk someone, they panic and run into you, and then you hit them. That feels really nice. But other than that, yeah, there's not really much to him that I can say that, like, this is an aspect of his power that I like. He's got nice cosmetics. He's a licensed killer with some really good cosmetics. I don't own, like, many of them, but they are pretty nice. Demogorgon, B tier, maybe just above Wraith. Demogorgon's a killer that I used to really love playing as, and I would say I've never really had a main killer, but I would say he was like one of my mains. He was a killer that I played pretty consistently. But I think I've found the Shred's not as enjoyable to use, like, over time. Like, it is nice, and there are some cool things you can do with it. But in just like a regular game, if you've not mastered the killer, the kind of Shreds you get in are fine. They can be kind of fun. You can slide around some cars and stuff. Portals, I always forget to use as portals, but they're not particularly fun. It's nice for map control, but I've never used a portal and been like, oh, that was so fun. Yeah, I've never really thought that before. What else is there about him? Yeah, his Shred, the reason he's like up here is that his Shred is enjoyable to use, but it's just not quite at the point where I think that it's so fun it puts him above any other killers. Like, I like varying the bottles with Clown. The Shredder's demo is alright. Mostly you use it for breaking pallets against like decent players. It's mostly just there to make pallet breaks a bit quicker. Oni is S tier. Oni is so fun. Oni's power when you've got it is the most fun in the game. It's what's it called? Blood Fury? I think it's called that. That is the most fun power in the game once it's up. The problem is that it's not always up. A perk I recommend on Oni is actually Trail of Torment, because it can make you get that first hit a bit easier. If the team are playing well, being undetectable can catch them off guard and get you a first hit. And then hopefully you can start the snowball of keeping everyone injured. But yeah, managing your blood, using your power at the right time, you know, going on a chase with it is really fun, because it's not like a guaranteed hit. In a lot of cases, if you've got a good survivor, they can loop you, and you can loop, and it kind of changes the way loops work with that speed, and being able to run into walls without bumping, like Billy would do. So yeah, Oni is a lot of fun. And Deathslinger is a killer I love a lot. Recently, I don't play him as much, but I think for me, he's got a special place in my heart, you know? Deathslinger is probably he came out around 2020, I think. I've probably played him like the most consistently since then. Like Oni, I've been kind of on and off with. Deathslinger, if ever I'm bored, I'm like, go on, I'll stick on a game with Deathslinger. I do find it fun. But consistency doesn't necessarily mean he's the most fun. He is nice to play as, but not. He's nice to play as. And you can do some really cool things. You can get some really nice shots with him. But in a regular game, the amount of like crazy shots you're gonna get maybe one if you go in for them. If you're trying to play Deathslinger smart, you're never gonna go for a crazy shot. You're gonna try and zone with his power. Try and trap people at bad loops for them. But I do think there's a lot you can do with Deathslinger that definitely makes him fun. There's probably a lot with all these other kills as well that you can do that can make them more fun, but I've just not learned how to do it, so I don't find it fun. Pyramid Head. I think the fact that I hate Pyramid Head so much to go against kind of lowers him. I don't play him, but I don't think he's as bad as like Spirit. You know what? I'm gonna put Spirit in C tier. I don't think Spirit deserves to be D tier. Like D tier for me is kind of like mind-numbingly boring. And then I'm gonna put Pyramid Head. Maybe because he's not the worst. I'm really bad with his power, which means I don't really enjoy using it. But I mean, going for hits is kind of nice. Maya's, you look at people. That's his power. Pyramid Head, you can hit through walls. You have your cages. It is a bit more fun, but it's still not something that I really enjoy playing as very much. Yeah, there's not much to say about Pyramid Head. I don't play him that often. And when I do, I feel like his power is... The best way for me to use his power is the way that I hate it when it's used against me, which is to just hold it and then cancel it and get an M1. Like, you can do other stuff, but, I don't feel the urge to put that much time into learning him because I don't think that I'd care that much once I was good at him. So, yeah. Blight's probably top of A tier for now. Blight's had a lot of his more fun aspects removed where you can, the hook text and the J flicks and stuff. And I've said in a few videos before, like, no matter what you think about whether or not those were too strong, whether or not they should have been removed, you can't deny they were fun. They were just fun to use. And now, pure bump logic Blight is still fun, definitely. But, being able to run fast is always going to be fun in this game. But I think it turns him from being a fun, look at this crazy stuff I can do kind of stuff to a more kind of sensible, straightforward, this is what I need to do optimally to get the hit, because there aren't that many oh my god, I can't speak. There aren't that many options for like crazy things you can do. If you manage to run really far away and bump really quick, bump really quick, bump really quick, ping pong around a tile and get a hit, that is still cool, it's still fun. But it's not as fun. Taking things away from a killer is always gonna mean the possible amount of fun you can have is a bit lower. Twins is a killer that I don't play very much, so they're gonna be C tier probably. Victor is kind of fun to use, but he's the kind of killer where it's like you get right up the survivor's ass and then jump on them. Like you can go for long shots, but if you do that, if I do that, I'm gonna miss and then I'm gonna get kicked and then I'm not gonna have a power for a bit. So definitely, I think around this point, around Pig and below, is the killers that I just never play, and Twins is one of them. So I kind of have to kind of guess if I were to play them, who would I have more fun with? I think Twins are above Pyramid Head though. Pig is a killer I also never really play, but I think that the ambush is quite fun and the stealth is quite fun. She is just very easy to stomp. Trickster, you know what, recently, I've actually kind of been enjoying Trickster. Yeah, Trickster's alright. The knives, I don't know. I think there's something about the knives where it's kind of dull, but in a good way. It's just knife, 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 knife. And then you build it up and then you hear that sound, and then the next knife injures them, and then you get main event. Main event can be a lot of fun. I still think he's maybe just above Doctor though. Not incredible, but not totally awful. Yeah, I think the shred's more fun to use. I think that the uncloak hits are more fun to use. Doctor, the shocks aren't as fun to use as the knives. The problem with Tricks though is that he is kind of map dependent though. Like if they get to a tile with a lot of tall walls, there's not how much you can do. But there is a little bit of mind gaming where you can like fake your power and walk through a pallet and then maybe just get an M1, where there's a little bit of interesting stuff. So yeah, the shocks as Doctor, I don't think it was fun as the knives as Trickster. Nemesis is... I love Nemesis, but I don't know if he's S tier. I think he might be there. I think in terms of just pure fun, the whip is limited. But being able to drag it does add a bit of like skill expression that I do enjoy. The zombies can be really frustrating, but you know, in the most part, in a regular game, they don't really annoy me too much. The tentacle I really like, the increased movement speed in tier 3. I think being able to build up towards something as Nemesis is also good because that adds a bit of like achievement in the game. Like, okay, yes, I'm in tier 2. Yes, I'm in tier 3. Now this is where the game starts. This is where I can start hurting people. And his buffs, I did make a video about how I didn't think the buffs were massively impactful, and I still kind of stand by that. Where I think his buffs took him from they were just nice changes. They weren't like massive in terms of his power or anything. They were just nice changes to add, and I still think that. But they definitely also make him feel better to play and more fun. So yeah, he is definitely good. Pinhead, he's S tier. He is high S tier. Pinhead is really fun. I love lining the chains up and hitting them. I feel like I might have to rearrange S tier a bit at the moment. I feel like, oh, well, that's it. I feel like Pinhead's more fun than Billy, but I don't think he's the funnest. Is Oni more fun than Billy? I think so. Especially with some of the builds you can use on Oni. I think he might be more fun than Billy. Is Slinger more fun than Billy? Probably not. Is Oni more fun than Pinhead? Yeah, I think so. I think Pinhead's 2. And Oni's 1 right now. Lining up the chains, trying to position the chain right so that you can... So that the extra chains that spawn don't immediately just get broken. Trying to use it around a loop and then force the survivor into the chains so that you don't walk into them and break them is nice. There is a lot of little stuff you can do with Pinhead. If you manage to keep the box for the whole game so that they're always in a chain hunt, that is really fun. It's really mean, but it is fun to just constantly be juggling the box and have it and be chasing people who just cannot do anything. That is like a very satisfying thing that I know survivors hate, but I can't help but find it really fun to play as. So yeah, I think that is good. I'm gonna knock Bubba down to B. I think Bubba's high B. Yeah, I think Bubba's high B too. Artist is a killer that I don't play very much, but I did have to play her for some archive challenges. This was, at this point, that was probably months ago, but I do still remember it, and I actually found her kind of fun. The problem with Artist is that the best way to play her is a very boring way to play her, where you kind of just shut down every single loop you get to, so the killer just has to, so the survivor just has to hold forward. And playing a game where the survivor's counter is to just constantly hold forward isn't very fun. But I do like killers where you can harass multiple survivors, so I can be in chase with one survivor, turn around quickly, shoot birds at a gen, just to kind of annoy the others. And I do actually quite like that. So I think I'm gonna put Artist in B actually, even though I don't play her that much, but I do think when I do play her, it's kind of fun. Who is she more fun than? Doctor. Is she more fun than Doctor? Yeah. Trickster. Yeah. Wraith. Maybe not Wraith. I do think that the speed and the stealth, the uncloak kits with Wraith are more fun. Sadako. Just above Freddy. Her actual power is spam teleports until you can insta-kill someone. Like in Chase, I like killers with chase powers, as you can probably tell. And Sadako doesn't really have a chase power. She's got more of a map control metagame power, which isn't something I love particularly. Yeah, I mean, around a loop, I guess you can technically demanifest to kind of make yourself go invisible a bit, and then try and time that to get a hit. But yeah, I don't play Sadako at all, and I have no interest in playing her. Is she even more fun than Freddy? She might not even be more fun than Freddy. She might even be less fun than Hag. I'm gonna just leave her there for now. Dredge. Dredge is B tier, low B tier. Do I prefer playing Dredge to Doctor? I need to shut my window. Sorry if there's been background noise. Do I prefer playing Dredge to Doctor? No. Do I prefer playing Dredge, Doctor to Trickster? No, I think that's fair. I definitely prefer Dredge to Legion, and I think I prefer him less than these. I think Wesker can go. Wesker would have gone S tier at one point, like around the time he came out. I was obsessed with Wesker. Recently, though, he's probably more fun than Nemesis, even though I prefer playing Nemesis, because Nemesis has, I guess, its satisfaction fun. I'm actually just waffling right now. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm gonna cut this bit out. Oh, Wesker. You are a lot of fun. You're not as fun as Blight. You're probably more fun than Huntress. He was fun as Nemesis. I'm better with Nemesis than I am with Wesker, but I do think Wesker might be more fun. That's the thing. But I think I might enjoy playing Nemesis a little bit more because I find my games with him are a bit easier. If that makes sense. So it's kind of hard for me to gauge that. So I'm going to leave it like that for now and come back to it. Knight is also B. He is probably above Trickster, Doctor, and Dredge. I've not actually played New Knight yet. Since Knight got changed and he can choose which guard to summon, I've not played him, so I am kind of basing this on old Knight. So based on his old thing, probably just above Artist, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I went through a phase of playing quite a bit of Knight for some reason, and I actually really liked it. Again, Knight has that thing where he can harass multiple survivors. You can be in a chase with someone, and you suddenly just put a guard down, go to someone, and then all of a sudden, bam, someone else is in a chase with a guard. And it's just a bit of slowdown for the most part, but you know, if they're caught really out of position, you could get a hit with it. And that's pretty fun. I refuse to play Skull Merchant for matters of principle. I do not play Skull Merchant. Singularity. Again, I don't think I've played him since the update. But I mean, it's just a case of you tag someone with the thing. Like you tag someone, you teleport to them, they drop a pallet, you break the pallet really quick, you teleport to them again, they make another pallet, or they don't, you get a hit. I know that there is some more stuff you can do with Singularity in terms of like timing your teleports and stuff, but for me, like that might actually just be C tier. Like I think running around and stabby as Legion might be more fun than that for me. Ghostface, I'm not massive on. Yeah, I think I'd put Singularity there. I think if I learned him, he'd probably be maybe high B, low A. But for now, that Xeno can be B. The chase power it's a chase power, which is good for me, but it's not the most exciting. The tunnels are good, and I like the kind of counterplay that can come with the turrets. But going against a well-coordinated team can be very frustrating. I'm going to put Xeno just below or above Demo, I think. I'm not putting a lot of thought into this, I apologize. So my rankings could change, and if they do, I'll probably leave it in the comments or something. There, for now, just below Demo. More fun than Wraith, I'd say. Yeah, I like the map traversal with the tunnels and stuff. And the power, you can do some weird like drag hits with it, kind of like Nemesis, but like up and down, or even side to side as well. But you can hit over things that you probably shouldn't be able to. A Chucky is a case of you go stealth, you get a free hit. You catch someone out in the open, you slice and dice, and you get a free hit. Your actual mobility using slice and dice isn't crazy. I know that some people can do crazy things with it. I probably can't. So I think as strong as he is, I don't find him fun to play as. I would maybe put him here because it is funny being a small little ginger running around the map and stabbing people. And slice and dice can be nice to get hits on, especially if you can use it to go around like body blocking survivors. There is that little bit of fun with that. But yeah, I mean, the actual chase I don't think is that exciting. He's strong, but not exciting, similar to Spirit. But I do think that it's more fun than just running around as Legion and stabbing people. Unknown is S, probably just above Deathslinger. Yeah, the stuff you can do with Unknown is pretty cool. With the ability to bounce the projectile off walls and stuff is really good. Hitting through floors and stuff, undetectable. Again, a stealth build on the unknown is amazing. Yeah, and like trying to use a teleport in chase, trying to hit your power in chase is a good challenge. It's fun. Oh, yeah, definitely S tier, I think. Vector is probably top of A above Blight. This might be recency bias, but he's got 4 different spells that all have a use. There's always a situation. I don't think there's ever a situation that you just can't outplay as Vector. Like his Flight of the Damned is good for either getting hits if you can put it around top of someone, which is an amazing feeling, or you can just slow someone down so that they don't make an extra loop, you know, when they greet a pallet or a window. The flight is just nice mobility. I don't really think it's that great in a chase, but if someone just vaults a window and then you can follow them through it, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I think if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, if you probably know that when Vector came out, I went through a phase of like, I think that was like the week after he came out, I posted like a bunch of videos because I was having so much fun with him, and obviously that's worn down a bit now that he's not as new, but he is still a lot of fun, definitely. Dracula, again, recently biased, but I've been enjoying him a lot, but maybe just below Nemesis at the moment because his Hellfire is kind of similar to the Tentacle in terms of how it works, except you can't drag it. His wolf form is good just for the speed and catching up, but actually landing a pounce attack for me it's pretty tricky because of the whole quick turn, and then you've got to readjust and make sure that you're in the right position in time for the next pounce. At the moment, I have been playing a lot of Dracula, and I really enjoy it. The buffs they did to his shapeshift cooldown are really good, and I really do enjoy him. I do think A tier is definitely where he belongs. I'm thinking Vector should go S tier. I think Vector should go above Deathslinger. Yeah, I think that's about right. All right, so I think that's the finished tier list. If I think of any changes, I will post them in the comments of this video. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know also if you would like to see a fun to go against tier list. This tier list would look very different if it was in terms of fun to go against, I think. And that would be a lot of fun to do as well, especially while I don't really have any ideas at the moment. That would be very nice. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy and would like to support the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.